How's it going, guys? My name is Zach with the Movie Castle, and today we're going to be taking a look at Marvel's Alien issue number 4. This is the 4th part in the Thaw series, 4 out of only 5, so this is the penultimate issue. And overall, I think it's a pretty good one. Things are starting to heat up. You know, obviously we're getting close to the climax of a more Aliens-styled story, so we are getting some fun action. But I think this book is really starting to reach its potential. I won't say what it is now, I will later in the review, but there is something going on with the mother that is a really interesting revelation, and I feel really does take the mother's character and the daughter's character to some interesting places, and I really did like the mother reveal in this book. It is super interesting and happens early on, and I just think really it got me much more into this book than I had previously. You know, the characters seemed relatively standard and the plot seemed relatively standard. This shakeup was needed, and I honestly wish it happened earlier because, you know, it definitely took the book in an undiscovered path. There are other revelations and plot twists and interesting plot points, you know, that happen afterwards. That really, it happened early on and set the tone for the book. When I switch to the close-up camera, I will have to talk about it. It just happens too early and it's too big not to talk about. But I'll try not to cover too much at the end when I switch over. But that being said, this book, it's finally starting to change at 4 of 5. You know, that's kind of the thing is, so much of this book was standard before this. I like that we are getting this change. I just wish it happened in like issue 2 or something. But anyway, overall, I can see this starting to finally hit its potential. It has me really looking forward to part 5 and gives me more hope in the next Alien run, you know, because this is Thaw 4 of 5, so after 5, they're going to do some other story arc. It seems like they're sticking with the anthology format. I really do hope we get some resolution to the other stuff that they set up in the past chapters, but I am, you know, curious where they're going, and after this, I do have more faith in it. So, it is good, a little late, but still good, and I want to read the next one. Anyway, without further ado, I'm going to switch to the close-up camera, show you guys a little bit more story, a little bit of the art, and we'll talk about what's going on with the mother. Anyway, without further ado, let's switch to the close-up camera. Alright, here we are inside the castle, taking a closer look at Marvel's Alien number 4. Bring it closer to the camera, and we see that it's a pretty fun cover with the aliens clinging to the side of a spaceship, and a nice watercolor texture in the background. Overall, pretty fun, some nice vibrant colors with the greens and yellows and then the purples in here, and the aliens on the side is fun too. Now, that being said, maybe this is supposed to be under the ice, because the ship in this issue is actually under the ice, not in space. So maybe that's what this is supposed to be. I'm not 100% sure. But anyway, on the bottom, 499 00411. And we open it up. There is a cold opening, but I'll skip ahead to the credits. We get, obviously, Aliens, and then a previously on. Again, big thank you to Marvel for actually putting previously ons. Alien Thaw, Part 4 of 5, written by Declan Shalvey, with art by Andrea Broccardo. And here we get, in the Weyland-Yutani file, because it's, you know, Weyland now instead of Talbot, we get camera 3 with the face hugger. And so I guess that means that, because this is actually a shot from the comic, but I guess that comic panel was taken from a camera, but we get them talking about the process of oviposition. Yeah, ovipositors, that is the right word. I would not recommend Googling it, though. But anyway, it talks about the face hugger, you know, that term in quotes, because that's a kind of a slang term for it, and how its only purpose is to deposit the embryo. And one thing I've always wondered, and they don't show it here, is what does the facehugger deposit? Is it like a goo that will cause your body to create the chest burster? Or is there a little tiny version of the chest burster that it shoves down your mouth and it kind of feeds on your nutrients? Maybe it's been established somewhere, and who knows what the canon is with Disney buying it and all, but whatever. I do like there's a scroll bar here, and it acts like it cuts off part of the article, and we get it start to talk about filtering sacs before it cuts off. So even though we don't know much about them, we know those two big things on the side of the facehugger are referred to as filtering sacs. So that is a fun trivia you can tell all your friends about. Before we get into the comic, I do want to say the back of the cover is an ad for Marvel's Max Rebo comic. Yeah, that musician at Jabba's palace. Everyone loves him because he's a fun puppet, and we're going to give him his own book now. A little strange, but why not? Max Rebo #1. Anyway, without further ado, let's go and talk a bit about this book's plot. I'll try to be avoiding major spoilers, but I do want to, say my piece on a few plot points and show you guys a little bit of the art. I'll try not to go too far, and I'll try not to spoil more than I have to. But that being said, really early on in this book, there is a major revelation about something the mother is doing. Really crazy stuff that I have to talk about, and it happens super early on, but maybe you guys want to go ahead and read this book first. I don't know. But anyway, we do open up with a really fun sequence where there's the ship and then these floating aliens, and then him down there like, well, that went bad. The freaked out look in his eyes. I really, this is an alien story. It's a story. There's probably going to be more with this character. But that being said, if they just left him to die in a sinking ship, that would be dark. And I really do like that look of just panic in his face. So a good opening page there. But anyway, what happens with the mother? And again, this happens super early in the issue. But after they do a little bit of theorizing about a way that they could get out, they talk about how the mother was in fact looking for alien life, not just studying the water, and they had found some alien DNA, nothing as cool as that facehugger the daughter found, but they did have DNA before that, so she was actually on a secret mission other than the water. And then the daughter's like, well, we don't have a sample, we don't have a ticket out of here. And the mother goes, oh, we do have a sample. Your half-brother? Yeah, that's the big revelation with her. And this is well before the staple. It's just like, it throws you into that twist really early on, and I'm like, whoa. See, that's the thing, is these characters, they were a little bit safe, they were a little bit like, oh, happy mother scientist and young adventurous daughter and the new boyfriend, they seemed all nice and generally safe, but you're doing a horror story. This is that wacky, insane stuff that I want to see characters in a horror story do, and with her mother pulling something that crazy and that extreme, that really puts the daughter in more of a position of peril too. Just getting to this point in the book really piqued my interest and made me much more interested in what's going to happen. And of course, the baby's starting to come a little early. That's pretty cool. We do get a bit of a check-in with these mercenary characters, and one of their friends has a facehugger. Is that supposed to be as wide as it is? Is that just the lighting in the scene? It might be the special facehugger for the special snow aliens, but they also discover what the other group had discovered, and that is that one of the launch pads is thawed out and they can get an escape pod out, and they're like, what about the people that were here? And the gruff soldier guy's like, I don't care, leave them to fend for themselves. So they're going to head out on a collision course with our heroes, and I won't go too much farther, but needless to say, those aliens that were underwater, well, even more of them are coming to the surface to be a bigger danger. As I said in my previous reviews, Thaw seemed kind of, a little bit by the numbers. It seemed a little bit like, okay, aliens, but they're on ice, and there's like a special one, and here's your group of generally okay heroes, and Weyland Yutani's gonna come up to be the jerks. It did seem kind of, like I said, paint by numbers and formulaic, but with a few twists they introduce in this book, and it's not just what the mother's doing. There is a few more plot points that come up that push you into a deeper place, and I think it really got this book to an interesting place. That being said, got it there at 4 out of 5. I would have liked to see something happen a little sooner to hook me deeper into this, but we are getting to that point that I really like to see it at, and we are getting to some messed up stuff, and I'm really looking forward to issue number 5 now, more than I had for the previous stuff. It's just that little bit extra of a creativity that really hooks you in more, and yeah, I can definitely say 4 has been the best one so far, and I really can't wait for issue number 5. Anyway, to everyone who's watched so far, thank you for watching. To everyone who's liked and subscribed, thank you. You're really helping this channel out. I'll leave a relevant playlist at the bottom. This should be my Alien comic playlist, where you can see my past reviews for this series. Anyway, have a good day. I'll see you guys again very, very soon. Relevant playlist on the bottom. Have a good day now.